From our daily debate, where we are going to tackle Egypt's role and diplomatic efforts in order to try to de-escalate the tense situation in the region, which is having repercussions on the whole region. And to shed light on the issue, we are very much delighted to be joined here in studio by our very prominent guest, Dr. Neveen Nakhla, Professor of Strategic Management and representative of the AFCFTA in Egypt. Thank you very much, Dr. Nakhla, for being our guest for tonight. Always
very honored. Thank you.
And before starting our topic for debate for tonight, we'll start with the top stories, where Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Badr Abdulati stressed the necessity to preserve Sudan's unity and territorial integrity, to support its national institutions and reject the establishment of any parallel entities. This came during a phone call with U.S. President Senior Advisor for Arab and African Affairs Mossad Boulos, where they discussed a number of regional issues of common interest. During the call, Abdulati stressed the importance of launching a Sudanese political process to end the conflict. He reaffirmed Egypt's stance in support of maintaining the security and stability of the Horn of Africa region, considering it a direct extension of the Egyptian national security, as well as rejecting any policies that would violate the sovereignty of states or jeopardize the stability of the whole region. The call also addressed the issues of water, which is an existential issue for Egypt, and the importance of respecting the rules of international law and avoiding any unilateral actions. Also, Minister of Foreign Affairs Badr Abdulati received a phone call from EU's Foreign Policy Chief Kai Kallas within the framework of the regular consultation to discuss regional developments. Both sides exchanged views and assessments for the U.S.-Iranian negotiations, as well as the recent dangerous developments and the repercussions on the negotiations. Abdulati briefed the EU top diplomats on the latest developments in Egypt's intensive efforts to de-escalate tensions in coordination with the regional partners. He also stressed the importance of adhering to the diplomatic track to ensure the security and stability of the whole region. And indeed, we're back to our topic for tonight, which is Egypt's regional diplomatic role in order to diffuse the tense situation in the region. And to shed more light, we have the following story.
As the Middle East continues to grapple with multiple crises, armed conflicts and shifting geopolitical dynamics, Egypt has intensified its diplomatic engagement in pursuit of de-escalation, dialogue and regional stability. At a time when military confrontations threaten to deepen divisions and expand insecurity across the region, Cairo has consistently emphasized that diplomacy remains the most effective path towards resolving disputes and preventing wider conflicts. Egypt's foreign policy has long been guided by a commitment to preserving regional security, respecting state sovereignty and supporting political solutions to complex crises. These principles have become even more significant amid the growing challenges facing the Middle East, from the ongoing conflict in Gaza and tensions in the Red Sea to instability in Sudan, Libya and other neighboring states. Egyptian diplomacy has sought to contain these crises and prevent them from evolving into broader regional confrontations that could have far-reaching consequences for peace and development. Central to Egypt's current diplomatic efforts is its belief that sustainable stability cannot be achieved through military means alone. Egyptian officials have repeatedly stressed the importance of dialogue, negotiation and confidence-building measures as essential tools for resolving disputes. Through continuous engagement with regional and international partners, Egypt has worked to create channels of communication between opposing sides and encourage political settlement settlement that address the root cause of the conflict. As the Palestinian issue remains at the forefront of Egypt's diplomatic agenda, Cairo has played a pivotal role in efforts to secure ceasefire, facilitate humanitarian assistance, and support initiatives aimed at achieving a just and lasting peace. Egypt has consistently defended the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people while advocating for the political process capable of ending cycles of violence and creating the conditions for long-term stability. In doing so, Egypt has sought to balance humanitarian concerns with broader regional security considerations, reinforcing its position as a key mediator in one of the world's most enduring conflicts. Beyond the Palestinian arena, Egypt has demonstrated a strong commitment to preventing the escalation of tensions throughout the Middle East. As rivalries between regional powers continue to generate uncertainty, Cairo has called for restraint and urged all parties to prioritize diplomatic engagement over confrontation, as Egyptian diplomacy has focused on reducing misunderstandings, encouraging dialogue, and fostering an environment in which disputes can be addressed through peaceful means rather than military action. Arab states and supporters of Egypt's foreign policy argue that the country's approach reflects both strategic necessity and historical responsibility. As one of the region's most influential states, Egypt possesses the diplomatic experience, political credibility, and regional relationship necessary to facilitate communication among competing actors. Its balanced approach enables it to engage with diverse partners while maintaining an independent foreign policy centered on regional stability and mutual respect. Egypt's efforts also reflect a broader vision for the future of the Middle East, one based on cooperation rather than conflict. Egyptian policymakers have increasingly emphasized the importance of collective security arrangements, economic integration, and regional dialogue as foundations for long-term peace. This vision recognizes that the challenges facing the region, including terrorism, economic pressures, displacement, and environmental concerns, require coordinated responses that transcend political divisions.
Welcome back. Of course, Egypt is playing a very important diplomatic role in order to defuse the situation, the tense situation in the region, to have more integration on the economic and political levels with our Arab brothers and neighbors. And to shed more light, we are very much delighted again to welcome our guest in the studio, Dr. Neveen Nakhla, Professor of Strategic Management and representative of the AFCFTA. Dr. Nakhla, of course, great efforts exerted by the Egyptian diplomacy, and of course the Egyptian administration is taking a great effort in order to play an important role, diplomatic role, in order to settle the very tense situation in the region. And of course, it is a very tense situation, not only that, but also a very sensitive situation due to the recent developments on the ground. How do you see the role played by the Egyptian diplomacy in order to achieve the best solution for the current situation in the Middle East region?
First of all, we saw our beloved President Abdel Fattah Sisi and His Excellency, the Foreign Minister of Egypt, how objective and how very straightforward and with very high communication and negotiation, strategically allowing all the peace talks and all the peace initiatives between all countries. Also, Egypt is very balanced in the relationship with all countries. We are Arab, we are African, and we have historical ties since so many decades.
Indeed.
This is making Egypt also with root cause analysis of the tension and with very objective solutions and very objective talks and diplomacy. This is very important and very remarkable. We are the land of peace, and we are a very peaceful country looking forward for peace for everyone. And with very high economic ties to our Arab world and our where we belong historically and our neighbors. So this is very important steps that our diplomacy is taking.
Indeed. Doctor, of course, we have been seeing the repercussions that the current war is having on the Gulf states, and Egypt did show great support, of course, on all the different levels for our brothers in the Gulf as well. We have seen the recent attacks against Kuwait and Bahrain, and the statements issued by Egypt in solidarity with our brothers there. And always the president is keen on asserting that the national security of these countries, the Gulf states, are a part and parcel of the Egyptian national security. How do you see such solidarity with our Gulf brothers?
This solidarity is not new for Egypt. We are very much known for supporting and the solidarity to our neighbors and our countries of the Arab region. Having this solidarity and having this support for each country to have their own peace and security is national security to our country as well.
And sorry for interruption here, Dr. Nakhla, but we'll go to a short break, and after that we'll continue our debate. Egyptian efforts and diplomacy regarding our regional neighbors and the Arab brothers, and how Egypt is showing solidarity constantly for the security and sovereignty of our neighboring countries and our Gulf brothers. Dr. Nakhla, as we have been talking before the break, that Egypt is always keen on showing solidarity and support, and the President was always keen to say and to highlight all the time that the national security of the Gulf state and the Arab states is part of the Egyptian national security. The Egyptian President Sisi, was always keen on visiting the Gulf states as well, especially after the start of the war and, of course, the attacks against some infrastructure and some attacks on the Gulf states. So how do you see these efforts exerted by President Abdel Fattah Sisi in order to show solidarity and to show our constant support for the Gulf states?
We saw in the middle of the fire,
Indeed.
It was not ceasefire,
yes,
and His Excellency, he went and visited so many Arab countries. Not only solidarity, but very high braveness and humanitarian, I mean. The support is not by words, is not by saying that Egypt is supporting and Egypt is making sure that they are against any fire or any political instability, or but by showing real support, by visiting, going by himself, meetings, also the economical ties are the same. We saw that Egypt is supporting also with trading, with from the Suez Canal, and using all our ports, using all our resources, and we are there whenever we are needed, really on the ground, not by words.
Yes, and on the file of Gaza as well, Egypt is always showing support and solidarity for our brothers in the Gaza Strip and the West Bank, of course, and we are rejecting any attacks or any humanitarian attacks from the Israeli side, and Egypt was supporting to a great extent and the sponsor of the Trump peace deal. How do you see the efforts exerted by Egypt and its keenness, of course, to enter the humanitarian aid for the Strip in order to ease the suffering of the Palestinians there?
Not only the humanitarian aid, but also any one that is in health situation. They are moved to the hospitals of Egypt, and we saw hundreds of children being hospitalized and taken care of in our land. All the humanitarian support was 100%, 24/7, all the time, available for our neighbors and for our brothers and sisters. Also, on the other hand, you see how many the population of people living in Egypt already from our neighbor countries.
Yes.
And they are supported with the same...
more than, I believe, 10 million refugees are staying here in Egypt. Yes.
Let me say, not only refugees, but also visitors from our neighbor countries.
Yes.
So they are, say, 12 million population. You know, we have subsidization in bread, subsidization in petrol, subsidization. They are living on the land of peace. They are living in Egypt as our brothers and sisters, really benefiting from all our goodness and our fruitfulness in Egypt.
Yes.
And this is another way of practical showing the solidarity and practical showing the real stand behind where we belong and behind our ties. Egypt, we are lucky with our geographical location. And we are not benefiting from our geographical location. On the contrary, we are supporting all our all our neighbors and all our families
always carrying the heavy burden.
Exactly, carrying it like a big brother.
Indeed.
So
that's always been the situation.
Yeah, and also Egypt, not only we are blessed by our geographical location, and God made us to support our neighbors, but also we have the goodness and the hospitality to everyone. Also, the political stability of Egypt and the diplomacy, the standing on a very what do you say, on same space to everyone.
Yes. It's very hard to maintain this diplomatically and economically and on all levels to be standing on this very critical position from all our partners in the East, in the West,
in Africa, in the Arab countries, in Europe, Asia, name it. We are on the same space towards all countries in the world. This is intelligent, brilliant, and human. And very difficult, but done with pride, done with strategic vision of our beloved President, His Excellency Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, with political will, with all our foreign ministry and international cooperation through the decades or through the last 10 years, very smartly We are on the same space with everyone, and we really care about the stability and the peace of all our neighbors and where we belong.
Indeed. Doctor, how does Egypt view the economic development actually as a pillar of regional security? And we have seen major economic developmental steps that Egypt did throughout the past few years, in spite of all the regional and international challenges that the region and the world is witnessing as well.
Amid all this economic crisis, we are building.
Yes.
We are building our country.
Very tough challenge.
Building new cities. We have moved from living on 7% of the land along the River Nile to living on 14% of the land in a few years, not couple, but a few years.
Yes.
The amount of new cities, the amount of infrastructure, the amount of ports that we are building, the amount of logistic hubs, and the amount of foreign direct investment in our country. A lot of different regions of foreign direct investment benefiting from the trade agreements that we have with different regions, the AFCFTA, for example, the Africa Free Continental Trade Agreement, and the benefit of the rule of origin, that if you have a product made in Egypt with 41% in some products, and it differs from industry to another, you have a free custom, a free tariff to 54 countries in our continent. We have the trade agreement with Europe, we have the trade agreement with the Arab and GCC and the MENA region, so etc., etc. I mean, so among all this economic crisis, among all the issues around us, war and everything, but we are strategically focusing on our diplomacy, we are focusing on loving our country, on building, on capacity building to our youth. A lot of vocational, today we had a meeting at the African Union, and we were talking about the vocational training and how Egypt with different, we call them the big brother, industrial big brothers, that they support other small industries, and they support the industry by the vocational training, very specialized vocational training, to assure economic growth and to assure our political and economical stability in the middle of fire around us from everywhere. We are blessed with our political will, we are blessed with our decision makers and our leaders of the country.
Doctor, of course, Egypt is always hosting many world leaders, is always hosting mega conferences in order, of course, to increase the developmental process, in order to attract more FDI, in order to increase the diplomatic solutions to the crises in the world and in the region. So can you shed more light on the importance of such hosting and being part of such conferences in Egypt, of course, for the African brothers and for the world leaders as well?
These conferences are a very important networking and B2B and investment and technology transfer and knowledge transfer and awareness and also tourism to our country. For example, we have this month happening now the big insurance conference in Egypt. We have the African Health Conference. We had the packing and the the trading conference, and we are waiting for the Al Alamein Business Forum, which will take place 24 to 26 June, and before that there is the annual meeting of another African organization. So we are in a festival, always festival. Yesterday I was attending this insurance conference, and I want to tell you 1,000 visitors from all over the Arab, Europe and Africa were attending this conference. And if you see the buses going to the pyramids, the buses going to the Grand Museum, another tour to the new capital city. I mean, this is showing Egypt to the world and attracting a lot of industrialization, a lot of job creation, and a lot investors. Of B2B and a lot of investors. So conferences on the land of peace in Sharm el-Sheikh, in the new capital city, and now we are starting conferences, big conferences in Al Alamein. In Al Alamein, we are expecting the visit of 20 heads of state in this conference. So I mean, these conferences are very beneficial to the economy, because even hotels are going to work, restaurants are going to work.
It has many dimensions.
Of course. Yes. And also when you bring people together under the roof of Egypt, you have the talks, the communication, the negotiation, and when people sit on the same table, most of the issues that they have is resolved by just sitting in a environment of collaboration and cooperation. We share one world, we share one land, and Egypt is always the land of peace.
Indeed. Doctor, how can Egypt actually contribute to more stable and more cooperative regional order?
I think we are doing great, and Egypt is doing their best. And to continue the diplomacy and to continue the way we are really supporting and making sure that as much as possible the root cause analysis and the negotiation on the same table, and our very stable diplomacy to the region.
Yes. What vision does Egypt have for future of Arab cooperation amid all what we have been witnessing from the geopolitical instability as well?
Egypt is very clear in our vision. Our vision is, as usual, it's all about peace. Our vision is about collaboration and economic growth. We are also very much aware of the new, for example, CBAM certification for the industrialization, the carbon footprint. You are not going to export except when you have the CBAM certification for industries like oil and gas, cement, and these things. So we are concentrating very much on our vision of building and supporting our economic growth and assuring that we care about the stability and of the whole region, because anything that will happen around us will affect us.
It is. Doctor, that would bring me to ask about the repercussions of the current war in the Middle East region, the Iranian American-Israeli war, and its repercussions, of course, on the economic front due to, of course, the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, the increase in the oil prices, and the great effect on the supply chains. So how do you see such impact, and how we would be witnessing more collaboration, cooperation among the Arab states and the African states here in order to avoid such severe repercussions in the future as well?
A lot of products and a lot of industries were selling and exporting to the Arab region, for example. A lot of products are based on the price of the energy. So our Egyptian decision-making and policy-making, we are looking very much into the green and clean energy. A lot of projects like the Banban solar panels and solar hub, a lot of projects for the green and clean energy to assure that we are not only putting all our efforts in one basket. Also, our continuous look into the African region and into our African, where we belong. We are African. We belong to the African continent. So starting a lot of initiatives towards Africa also. This is our way of going back to the roots. To assure that we are opening more markets, we are opening more collaboration. Also, as we were saying, we have a lot of trade agreements. So a lot of companies that from the countries that have problems and have war, they started to move their manufacturing plants to Egypt. Especially the part of the Suez Canal, the part of El Sokhna,
the Suez Canal economic zone.
And also in this part of the Suez Canal economic zone, we have places for industrialization in the name of countries.
Yes.
I mean, different countries, places attracting hundreds of factories to move their production from the places that they have some problems today. I say some problems, and I say today because hopefully tomorrow it will be solved. Tomorrow it will be peace again. It will be
hopefully,
prosperity for everyone again. So they moved to our country and benefit from selling to the countries that we have trade agreements at. So I mean, the vision is very clear and very strategic, and our government and our political will are moving very strategically. No step is taken haphazard or without very good, wise steps are taken. And we are very proud as Egyptians with our government and our country, political and advocacy.
Yes. To what extent the current war in the Middle East region, Dr. Nakhla, did raise the awareness, if I might say it, did raise the alarm here about the importance of more cooperation away maybe from other parties in the world in order to show more collaboration and solidarity among the African states and the Arab states in order to avoid any repercussions from such if such attacks or such wars did or the closures of the Strait of Hormuz or any waterway might have in the future as well?
I think what's happening today showed our region that we should have different routes.
Indeed.
And I'm sure that there are several routes, new routes, will appear in the near future.
And we have heard about some alternative
a lot of alternative routes, and the stability of the region is in the collaboration and in being all together one hand. And as we see in our country, whenever anyone tries to play inside the country with any differentiation between us or anything like that. They are severely stopped, not by the political will alone, but by the people.
The people themselves, of course.
The people themselves. And this awareness is becoming very crucial. The awareness is not only by the political leaders, the awareness of our people in our countries, in the Arab, the African.
It has always been the case.
Exactly. So I think the media is very important. The soft power of youth. I would say that having youth camps with different countries and making youth see each other and talk to each other and maybe play sports together, not against each other. I'm not saying that they play sports, football match, and each one wants his team to win.
Yes.
No, I'm saying a collaboration from the youth with our media production, our films, our movies, together. This is the soft power. Soft power of awareness. So people are not blinded behind any idea which is not correct. Resources around the world are scarce. Water is scarce. Energy is scarce. So if we don't have the sustainable development mindset, and the sustainability mindset, the sustainability is built on 3 pillars. It's economic, environmental, and social. So I think it's the awareness to the people.
Indeed. Dr. Neveen Nakhla, Professor of Strategic Management and representative of the AFCFTA, thank you so much for your precious input. Always a pleasure to have you with us.
I was honored.
It was our honor, Dr. Nakhla. And that would bring us to the end of this episode from our daily debate. Till tomorrow, many thanks for watching.